mix minus. You're on RS4.
Hey guys, I'm on RS4 and I'm hearing mix minus. This okay. Okay, we're hanging up, redialing. No, he got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to BNC Live on this Monday, October 4th. I'm Laverne McGee. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin this hour with disturbing information about the number of people killed at the hands of police. Police departments across the country have been mislabeling and undercounting deaths caused by officers, meaning that even more black men have been killed by law enforcement. That is according to a study from the University of Washington. The Washington Post has been counting deadly police shootings in America since 2015. However, there's no government agency that's tracking these deaths or other uses of force by law enforcement. The report was released in a recently published study that looked at officer-involved deaths over 40 years. It showed that more than half of police killings in the U.S. are misclassified in a federal database. BNC's Jamise Price is live in New Orleans now to break this all down for us. Good afternoon, Jamise.
Good afternoon, Laverne. Louisiana is listed as one of the top 5 states that's underreported police killings since 1980. So researchers looked at data from 1980 to 2018 and found about 31,000 people were killed by officers. 17,000 of those deaths were misclassified in the National Vital Statistics System. It's a federal database operated by the CDC. Now, researchers compared the national database with 3 open source databases that compiled information from news reports and public records. The study also showed police have disproportionately killed black people at a rate 3.5 times higher than white Americans. This reaffirms other studies and what we've seen play out in this country for the past few decades. The deaths of black people were also underreported by nearly 60%. About 5,700 deaths of black Americans killed by police were misclassified according to this study. So researchers attribute some of the underreporting to coroners and medical examiners and their close connections to law enforcement.
Those are cultural indicators, right? This isn't just, a problem that happens here and there, but this is a culture of doing things a certain way. And the way that they're doing things gives us bad data, right? And so the coroner's office, yes, guilty. And we've seen that time and time again of being very biased. But, also prosecutors are biased because, in cases of police involved shootings, these are officers that they're typically working with for the rest of their cases. And so it's very difficult, and I think it puts people in a difficult position to be truthful, but the culture needs to shift in a way that mandates truthfulness, that mandates accuracy, that puts data and good data, at the forefront.
In a statement from the National Association of Medical Examiners, the president of the organization wrote, most death certificates do not have a check-off box noting whether a death involved police. Some jurisdictions do list the phrase shot by police, others do not, but it is not a legal requirement. Laverne.
Jamise, were any suggestions made to address the underreporting of police killings in this country?
Laverne, researchers suggest starting with the fact that there is so much police violence and really looking at a way to address police reform and really looking at a way to eliminate militarized policing and focus on community-based policing, and one that really prioritizes black lives and public safety. In New Orleans, I'm Jamise Price for BNC.
All right, thank you so much for that report, Jamise. And let's switch to healthcare now. Only 69% of black women in the United States are dealing with breast cancer and making sure that they're getting their regular checkups. It is the second leading cause of cancer death in women. And while deaths from breast cancer continue to fall, new studies show that Black women in the U.S. are more likely to die from the disease, regardless of when they're diagnosed. And for women under the age of 40, there are even more concerns.
Hi, I'm Mayma Carmo, president and founder of the Tiger Lily Foundation. I'm a 15-year breast cancer survivor, thriver, warrior, and unicorn. My job has been to keep speaking my truth to power, to keep realizing that I am the power that I have. One day in the shower doing a breast exam, I found a lump on my breast, and the lump kept growing over time. So I kept asking her for a biopsy. The doctors kept saying to me, "You're too young to have breast cancer, you're too young to have breast cancer." I was 31 years old, under the age of when women get breast cancer.
My name is Dr. Jacqueline Walters. I'm better known as Dr. Jackie. I am an OBGYN. I've been practicing medicine for 25 plus years. There is no woman who's too young for breast cancer if she has breast.
My name is Dr. Arnithia Sutton, and I am a postdoctoral fellow at VCU School of Medicine. Among Black women that get breast cancer, approximately 21% of those women are going to have triple negative breast cancer. When you compare that to women of other races and ethnicities, that's somewhere between like 10 to 12%.
One of the major issues is racism. It's dismissal by this healthcare system. I was dismissed myself.
I constantly say every day, be your own best advocate. You know you better than I do. So if you think something is wrong, don't accept me saying it's not.
The patient is the one that has the power. You're meant to work for us and serve us, not the other way around. And Tiger Lily really was birthed out of, my experience and me asking God how to serve. And our mission was to educate women who are younger, to advocate for them, to empower them, and then to support them during breast cancer.
We've come a long way with treatment from back in the day when it was just surgery only to we got radiotherapy and now chemotherapy. And now we have immunotherapies or more targeted therapies depending on the type of cancer that you're diagnosed with.
I have learned that prayer and meditation are my biggest assets. I have the most epic self-care routine. Sleep a lot, supplement. I like fresh air, a juice. I just really believe that, our bodies are a temple. It's a temple that God put our spirit in. And so as long as I'm here, my job is to honor what God's given me, which is my spirit and the temple that it's in. My daughter, Noelle, she's my biggest gift. She's 18. As I grew and as I began to be a light for my sisters, I began to reach back and light their candles as well. But I believe that when you know better, you have to do better. That means bringing other people from where they are with you.
9% of Black women start treatment for breast cancer within 30 days. And this past summer, Tiger Lily Foundation awarded $700,000 in a grant to launch community-based patient advocacy programs to end disparities for Black women facing that disease. Stay with us, everyone. Back in a moment. This is BNC.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hi, Lindsay. This is Laverne. Can you tell me how to pronounce your last name?
Sure, Lindsay Eshelman.
Wonderful, Lindsay. Thank you so much. And you're the co-founder of Confront Art?
Correct. Yes, we produce the See Injustice series in Union Square right now.
Awesome. We're in a commercial break, so I'll be with you shortly. Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Vandals continue to target the statue of George Floyd in New York. Check out this surveillance video showing a man tossing paint on the statue from his skateboard, and then he rolls away. Well, it's been a week since the wooden and bronze statue was unveiled, along with statues of Breonna Taylor and late Congressman and civil rights leader John Lewis. Now, the vandals only targeted Floyd's statue over the weekend, and this is the second time the George Floyd statue has been vandalized. Police say they're looking for a suspect, but there's no plan to put permanent police detail in that area to prevent further vandalism. Lindsay Eshelman is the co-founder of Confront Art. That's the group that's behind the installation of the statues in that area. Thank you so much for joining us. Lindsay, how upset are you about hearing this?
I am upset, but I am not surprised, which is the sad thing. I found out about this Sunday morning. I rushed there. The vandalism was still wet. But we found some great volunteers who helped us all day to get the work done.
And isn't this like the second time this has happened?
This is. I feel like they are two different very situations. The first one happened in Flatbush during our preview. It was done by a known white supremacist group who came in the dark of night. This particular one, as you're seeing right now, happened broad daylight, like just with so much courage that someone could come up and do that in the middle of a Sunday morning.
I know, that's what they want to do on a Sunday morning. Unbelievable. Just tell me briefly about these statues, because for people who haven't been to New York and seen them, they're pretty incredible to look at, aren't they?
Absolutely. So initially, Chris Carnabucci, who is an artist who works with my organization, came up with 40-inch models last year of what he called the See Injustice series. George Floyd, John Lewis, and of course, Breonna Taylor. And we decided to make them as big as we could. And now you're looking at 13-foot majestic statues. They're beyond statues, they're monuments. The beauty is that people are coming and laying flowers and putting candles at them. And we are just so discouraged that hate, especially towards the George Floyd statue, continues to be fostered and almost fester.
Yeah, they do look like monuments, actually. That's a good word for it. So how are you going to keep them safe? Because police can't watch them 24/7, and I'm sure cleaning them up isn't that easy either.
Oh no, yesterday we worked for a solid 8 hours to get it somewhat restored, at least to live out the life of the exhibit, which is about 30 more days. So what we're doing is we're putting a call to action out. We're going to call them the keepers of the statue. We already have a list of volunteers who reached out to us via social media who said, hey, I run an organization. I marched last summer. What can I do? And I said, come, stand there. Communicate with us. The Parks Department is aware of this initiative. They are aligned. They love the idea that local organizations want to come and take claim to protecting this. So if you are in New York City and you were as outraged as we were this weekend, feel free to reach out and spend an hour sitting there and maybe having some reverence time in front of the statues, but keeping an eye on it as well.
I love that idea, but then I'm also kind of nervous. What about the person watching the statue? Then what if they all of a sudden become the target?
You know, I think that we have strength in numbers, and I do believe that we are finding unity there. The more and more I go to visit the statues, I see people coming from afar. Yesterday, a tourist from Texas came up to me and said, I saw the vandalism on social media. I'm here to help you. So the good is now pouring in. People saw the hate, and now the good is starting to infiltrate in. So I have full faith that we are finding unity, and we will be able to come together to keep an eye out on these.
And tell us one more time where those statues are located if people want to go see them.
Absolutely. It's the See Injustice series. It's in Union Square in New York City until October 30th.
And then what happens? Where do they go?
Well, then we are going to be doing a tour, See Injustice tour, to other cities who want to show their faith in this series and display the new faces of a movement. And then they are going to Sotheby's for auction with proceeds going to charity. We have a strong alignment with Terrence Floyd and his organization, We Are Floyd. Terrence Floyd is the brother of George. And we are working hand in hand, so proceeds from this do go to charity.
Oh, very exciting. All right. Thank you so much for explaining all of that, Lindsay. We appreciate your time.
Of course.
And getting in shape is doing more than just improving your physical appearance. When we come back, it is Mental Health Monday, and we're talking about the mental health benefits that could come while working out. Keep it right here. This is BNC.
Hello? Hello?
Hi, were you able to hear what was on air currently?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had you guys muted. I had my computer muted. Go ahead and talk. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up and talk to you.
All right. Adjust the camera. Okay. And you said go to my left. Okay. This way? Cool.
Thank you.
Lauren Powers. So funny how like it looks all
Hi,
pixelated on the
Lauren.
big screen.
This is
Hi.
Laverne. How are you? Can you hear me?
Fabulous. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. So is this your full-time job? You do fitness full-time?
Not anymore. I own a gym in Atlanta and I have a team. My husband and I do it together, but I am a marketing coach for health entrepreneurs full time.
But you own a gym.
I do.
That's cool. Okay. Why don't you work at your gym then?
So it was a passion that I made a lot of money off of, and I just kind of graduated from that.
Well, good for you.
Now
Kudos to you.
Coaches. Thank you.
All right. Welcome back to BNC, everyone. So some health officials believe that 30 minutes of moderate intensity workouts at least 6 times a week are beneficial for various health reasons. Not only will working out improve your physique, but there are also tremendous benefits to your mental health. Bodybuilding champion, fitness model, author Lauren Powers joins us now on this Mental Health Monday. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being with us. Let's talk about the mental health benefits of exercise.
Of which there are so many. I mean, just getting the endorphins going and getting your blood pumping is such a huge benefit to your brain, your heart health, and your brain health. We got to get up and get moving at least 30 minutes. I recommend daily if we can.
Okay, Lauren, I know this is great advice, but I got to be honest. We hear this all the time, right? And people still don't be able to get over that hump and just do this. What can you tell us to motivate us?
So you need to do exercise that makes you feel good. Like for me, I love lifting heavy things as often as I can.
What?
The heavier the barbell.
What?
Yes, honey. The heavier the barbell.
You enjoy lifting heavy things? Okay, this is where you and I cannot see eye to eye here because. Okay, I know I'm joking about this, but this is the problem. Most of America does not want to lift heavy things, okay?
So for those of us that don't want to move the heavy things, right, find fitness that keeps you moving, like makes you happy. A lot of folks like Zumba. A lot of folks like going on walks with their friends. Black Girls Run is a huge organization that gets folks outside in a group moving. Figure out what you and your tribe like to do. Some folks like yoga. It's peaceful, it burns fat, right? And it doesn't seem as strenuous depending on the type of yoga.
It's hard though. It's hard. It's not lifting heavy things like you like to do, but I have tried yoga. It is hard. I will say that. I want to talk about how that actually helps your mental health though.
So believe it or not, when we exercise and when we're releasing those endorphins, it hits certain neurotransmitters in our brain that actually make us happy, like norepinephrine and serotonin and dopamine. There's a surge of the good feel good neurotransmitters that could potentially set the tone for your day or even calm you down at night. But I do think what's important though is to do something that you love to do that makes you happy. Because if it's, you're dreading going to the gym every day because the trainer's going to beat you down, then maybe we need to find a happier style of fitness that caters to your lifestyle.
And I love fitness, and I went through periods in life when I was in the gym and then I got away from it. I mean, I get that happiness eating a cookie, I'll be honest, but I know we can't do that all the time. Studies do show that exercise is a natural and effective way to treat anxiety, which a lot of us have. It's COVID, we're in lockdown, we can't do things we normally want to do. Talk about those benefits when it comes to exercise and mental health.
Definitely, because you're doing something that's good for your body, right? So you're gonna have a natural chemical response when you are releasing endorphins and toxins. And I really, really recommend a good fitness routine, especially for those of us that have like a lot of responsibility both at home and at work. You need that outlet, that time that's dedicated to you for self-care, for your own self-care, and that can help minimize some of the effects of the anxiety or mood issues that you may be struggling with at work. I actually do it myself when I've had a long day. I've been coaching lots of clients. One time a week, I may need a good kickboxing class, right? So I can just really let it all out. So I think that self-care is critical for just good brain health and mood stabilization.
Yeah, just lifting heavy things and kickboxing. You're a champion, let me tell you. Can you give me a simple, I can't do all that. Can you give me a simple movement to help relieve stress? Something simple.
Something simple, squats.
Squats are not simple.
No way.
I was thinking like a hand gesture, a wave, something. No.
Or how about a walk? How about just get some vitamin D, right? Because vitamin D is good for our skin, it's good for our brain, good for our body. Get outside, get fresh air, get vitamin D. 20 minutes? Can we do that?
Yes, we can do that. Okay. I like that. I admire you. You love lifting heavy things, the kick. But you know what? I can't be doing that every day. The walk, I can go for a walk. So I think most people can do that.
So we'll meet halfway. I'll do the 300-pound back squats. You do the walk. We both getting our endorphins going. We're both good.
Yeah, and we're both happy, right?
Yes, exactly. It's stress-free.
And then we'll go have dessert, somewhere and have cookies, right?
or make or wine, depending on how you like to get your calories. But you make sure you counter that with some exercise too. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us with that wonderful advice. And I want to be like you when I grow up and enjoy lifting heavy things, but can't see it happening anytime soon. Take care. And they say the mail must go through, right? Well, nobody said it has to happen quickly. Coming up, and just in time for the holidays, the newest predictions on how long it will take for your first-class mail to be delivered. Stay with us. This is BNC.
Beginning Monday. My God can work it out. Lift your spirit. Light shines brighter when it shines for two. And fill your soul. Good love. All I got. Let me tell you what he does. He saves the day. And he will. Watch Start Your Day with Sharon and Mike for exclusive performances. Summer Concert Series Finale. Beginning Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern. Only on BNC. Truth.
Hey, I can hear you. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Lovely tent. Can you hear me? Keeping cool.
Hey, I can hear you.
I like that. I like that. Welcome back, everyone. If you plan on traveling for the holidays, the CDC says you should only do so if you are fully vaccinated. The CDC made the recommendation even though you'll still be required to wear masks on public transportation. The CDC is encouraging unvaccinated people to experience the holidays virtually, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or outside. Might be kind of cold, and be 6 feet apart. If you're planning to attend an in-person party, the CDC says get vaccinated as soon as possible. Wear your mask indoors or in public areas. And the Supreme Court is back for what is expected to rule on several big issues, including abortion during its current blockbuster term that got underway today. Now, for the first time in more than a year, the court convened for an in-person session in their chamber. Brett Kavanaugh was not there. That justice tested positive for COVID-19 last week. In the coming months, the 9 justices are expected to tackle issues like abortion, the Second Amendment, religious liberty, and possibly affirmative action. And President Biden is telling Republican senators to get out of the way and let Democrats suspend the nation's debt limit. This is his plan to keep the U.S. government from coming close to a credit default. Congress has until October 18 to allow for more borrowing to keep the government operating. The government has accrued a total public debt of $28.4 trillion. The House has passed a measure